living like mildew. They say you don't visit the hood, dog, I still do. A real one, only difference, my bill's bigger. I'm still with ya, I just got rich a little quicker. The same man, God handed me his game plan. I ain't perfect, far from it, what can I say, man? I feel unstoppable, losing's impossible. Go against the team, the thing they know not to do. Bright lights, game on the line, do what I gotta do. Time after time, we do the impossible. It felt like yesterday, I was just driving my grandma's Chevrolet. From South Carolina to Maryland, I take the jet today. I'm still on the come up, I'm still building my resume. I still got a lot to prove, but still I'm heavyweight. I still gotta watch my moves. They try to defamate my character, but I won't let them. It's always checkmate. I'm still screaming, the world hope she. Mother Nature's my first shorty, watch how I go ballistic and I'm so terrific. Accounts is copacetic, I don't need no permission, but I'm so indebted to this game that I love, and most of all to the man above. Now check me out, now it's just that Fridays was serving the greens. Before I was popping, I was nursing my dreams. Now I ain't never been a gangster, but I know a few things. I just rather get the bag and start collecting the rings. I done spoke too much, close curtain and scene. I am not a human being, I'm a full machine. I ain't holier than thou, I don't judge, I sing. Just staying down for the come up till I reign supreme. Let's get it. Yeah, hey boy, we got another one. Ha! Man, y'all boys ain't ready for this, man. I'm still grinding, I'm still hungry, hungrier than ever. I feel unstoppable, losing's impossible. Go against the team, the thing they know not to do. Bright lights, game on the line, do what I gotta do. Time after time, we do the impossible.
Downtown between Brush Street and I-375. That's where we're located in the heart of Detroit at Ford Field, which first opened back in 2002. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Washington Commanders and the Detroit Lions. Two teams here fresh off week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. First play, going to throw it. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. And just like he did, almost winning the Heisman at Michigan, rookie Aiden Hutchinson blows up the play. Well, if they have any thoughts of coming in here and getting this road victory, that's not the way to start it out on the first play of the game. Yeah, one thing you always say when you go on the road, take the crowd out of the game. They actually brought the crowd into it by permitting that sack right out of the gate. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down. Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws. That's taken on the 25. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And the Lions will take over. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground to about the 40-yard line. Well, this defense for the Commanders, terrific last week in the season-opening victory. And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out. Drop 60, drop 60. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Hooker. Pressure comes, and down he goes. Montez Sweat, the man that time to fight in and drop him. Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game. Ready? Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's airing it out for Williams. And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. Well, we saw this plenty last year in college. He loved to take his shots downfield, and that throw, that was a thing to behold there. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Gibbs. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Deron Payne, the big D tackle there to make the stop. The Lions at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they've got a pretty good deal from the schedule makers as well. Home dates in Weeks 1 and 2. And I would believe that they would need to take advantage of that, partner, because as you can imagine, the road dates will pile up later this season. So this is a great opportunity for them to put some early distance on the rest of the division and create a little bit of a cushion for them for later in the year. That was a particularly nice play because not only was it his job to force the play inside, he was actually able to fold inside himself and make the tackle ultimately. Very nicely done. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Gibbs. And they snap him short of the first as he can only get to the 20. Badgley's kick is good. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs.
Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. So a big chunk of yardage will be marked off there for that PI call.
And now you know why receivers and the guys throwing the ball, they like to collaborate and just heave it up sometimes, because you can get these types of calls that go against the defense. Pass interference and a gain.
Now Robinson coughs up the football. It's loose. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And into the end zone, a scoop and score on the fumble return for the Detroit touchdown. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. And maybe that's the perils of being a rookie running back in the NFL. I mean, look, it's not easy to hold on to the ball at any level with these talented guys. But in this league, you can learn a lesson early.
Without a doubt, and what a tough reminder for any running back, especially a rookie. The things you got away with in college probably won't work so well in the NFL.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. First down, how to throw. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Aleem McNeil, what an effort to get in there and drop it. We had a pretty good idea that they were going to pressure this young quarterback, and that's now 2 sacks here in the first quarter.
And yeah, this is a secret to exactly nobody, because if you're a rookie quarterback, you know you're going to see pressure. Defenses want to see how you're going to handle it, or if it forces you into making bad decisions. That's their goal.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Rookie quarterback, rookie running back. They team up there to pick up the first. A good throw there, and this is a quarterback who's still just getting his feet wet, obviously. And by most accounts, last week played okay in the victory. But I want to know, Charles, what was your impression of his play last week?
Brandon, I think a lot of teams will be happy with okay, and early on, it's less about how many touchdowns did he throw, but did he not throw interceptions? Did he handle adversity? Did he handle the huddle? Those types of things. That's what people are looking for.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Here's Gibson on the read option. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On first down, Howell. Can't get away, and he's taken down. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. second down and a run by Robinson. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Powell throwing on third down here. And that will be incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on third down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
Sly able to put this one through. And that will tie us at 3-3. So the defense able to force the interception, and the offense working their way into field goal range and able to get 3 out of it.
Yeah, and give them credit for that. They took the ball, maneuvered it downfield, and while they couldn't get exactly what they wanted, which was a touchdown, they did get 3 points out of it, so they paid off what the defense gave them. Both sides would be thrilled with that.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
They'll be going for 6. To throw on second down. Hooker. And this is incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun. Hooker throwing the out route incomplete. That's Gibbs. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got him the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
They'll run on first down. Gibbs. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Off play action. Hooker. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Amon-Ra St. Brown set a Lions rookie record with 912 receiving yards, and over 60% of those came in the final 6 games of the season. He got better and better as the campaign rolled on. And when they went to him like he was their top receiver, he produced like it as well. And he certainly earned that spot here in his second year, and he gets a first down for Detroit.
They lose the yardage, and of course they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Looking to throw. Hooker. And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did. And they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Badgley able to punch this one through. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, due to a long field goal to at least get him 3. Now here they'll try to do better. And now the rookie's free. Touchdown, Washington. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Here we go. Buffalo 18. 60 Maverick. 79 Broncos.
On 1st and 10, Hooker firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
4 minutes to play here in quarter number 2.
70 Rangers.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's airing it out for Williams. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I usually hesitate when I say a guy's got world-class speed, but this guy might. So let's fire the starter's pistol. Let's go. If you've got him, you've got to try and use him. A lot of anticipation.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6. On 4th down, Jack Fox on to punt for Detroit. Well, now heavy pressure by Washington, and they block it. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. And he will score. Touchdown, Washington. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Commanders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. The extra point by Sly is up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Curl. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point, his first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid, the reason that they drafted him, and go out and play.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Hal down to throw it. He rifles one that's intercepted. Down the numbers. There he goes. The 20. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that'll make it 17-13. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be second down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Second and 16. Straight ahead, Gibson. And so there he goes left side. He's at the 30. 10, 5, touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Commanders are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that pushes the lead up to 11. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Take it in at the 3. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember, last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
He's airing it out for Williams. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up fourth down.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
From the 17, Powell. He sets to fire deep. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half.
And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Tress Way on fourth down is sent out to punt. And we'll see what he can do on the return. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. And a nice play there defensively. And this is a new acquisition, Charles. You and I were talking about it pregame. Just signed as a free agent earlier this week.
Love when they pick up those guys with something to prove. Because any guy who's a free agent off the street, No one else wanted him, so he wants to prove to the rest of the league, you should have signed me first.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime.
7 Pirates, 7 Pirates. 18, 5 in. Come 19, come 19.
Throwing on first down. Hooker, he's airing it out for Williams. And he's got it inside the 10. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call.
Let's go now.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on first and goal. Up the middle they go. It's Gibbs, and he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead is down to 4. So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. He's going deep for Brown. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about it.
He's got a man, complete. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
We spent a lot of time talking about what's going on the field. How about off the field with the evaluation? And they spent a lot of time saying, we've got to get a rookie in here who has big playability. And that's exactly what we're seeing here early in his career.
Drafted him in the spring. Here he is early in the fall making an impact. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Michael Badgley ready for the field goal try. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. Badgley able to knock this one through, and that'll bring him back within a point. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
Out They're set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here.
Robinson up the middle.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
Throwing here, Howell. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
I certainly felt for Sam Howell watching him fall from a possible first-round pick at one point all the way to day 3 of the draft, but it's just extra fuel for a guy now who drew comparisons to some of the league's most fiery competitors at quarterback. When he gets into a tough spot, Howell knows how to create and make some impressive reads and also some impressive runs, and I think that's how he'll succeed as an NFL quarterback.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10, Howell. Complete, it's Dotson. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there.
On 3rd down, Robinson.
And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Sly able to put this one through.
And the drive will wind up yielding 3.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
On 2nd down now, it's Gibbs looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
60 Maverick, 60 Maverick, 79 Broncos.
From the gun on 3rd down. Hooker over the middle, complete. That's Gibbs.
And he is going to have a Lions first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
He's airing it out for Williams, and that is incomplete.
But we saw that they had a lot of success last week throwing the football, but that hasn't translated to this week. But with his team behind, I don't expect him to back off. I expect him to keep firing.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
Now a handoff up the middle. Gibbs, and he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
60 Bobcat, Dragon 60.
On 3rd down, It's Gibbs, and he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Montez Sweat with a tackle.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. With his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Lions have retaken a third-quarter lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that gives them a 3-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
This taken in at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Foul to the air on 1st and 10.
And Thomas has it. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. We have played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
And Howe will throw it.
That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
On the counter, this is Robinson. 85 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Robinson will try to pick it up.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
That kick, by the way, Charles, a career long.
Well, we did watch him in pregame, and he hit from this distance, so not a surprise. But there still is something exciting about it, carrying it over from practice and pregame to actually doing it in live action.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this. He's got a man, complete. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
I would say just add that one to the total big plays he's already made here in the first month of the year. You've got to think the front office and the coaching staff have got to be excited about what they've seen so far and really excited about what they expect to see down the road.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to the huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
19 tight, 19 tight. 7 Pirates, 7 Pirates.
Back to throw. Hooker. He's got this. Complete to Williams. Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence because how do you cover? Do you go with the bigger guy to try and use size? Try to go with the quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, it's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts every game with 10 to 12 screens because if he starts feeling the pressure from the defense, he uses their aggressiveness against them.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. It's their quarterback. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions have broken this deadlock and have taken the lead here in the 4th. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And they will take a 7-point lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They now trail by 7 after that last touchdown. That's into a crowd and intercepted. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. They brought the house that time on the young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly, and that means your receivers have to understand they have to break off their routes quickly as well.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A 23-yard run. And the Lions are on their way to a 2-0 start. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead now up to 14. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. This offense returning out there, and really, you remember the last drive, Charles, it was over before it even began. They threw the interception on the very first play. He's got a man, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now throwing on 1st down here. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Another 1st down there as this one goes for 25. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. They'll throw on 1st down. Here's Howell. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
His first career touchdown pass, and it's cliche to say, but he's probably been envisioning this since he was a little kid. That's a cool moment.
It really is. So enjoy the moment, enjoy the time, celebrate, save the full reflection for later, but make sure you grab someone on the sidelines and say, hey, make sure I get that football, okay?
That's caught, and he will get into the end zone to cut the deficit down to 4. And, of course, on the two-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
Taking it about the 1. He takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Called it the 26. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll keep it on the ground. Gibbs. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts
as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10.
They run the counter. It's Gibbs. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. It doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here comes the Lions punter now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both